Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today, we're going to be watching a little bit of WrestleMania. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to that channel. The channel will be linked down in the description as well as this full video if you want to check out the full video. This is going to be 10 WWE matches that will happen in 2024. To be honest, I don't even know what's going to be happening in 2024. We seem like we are in for a wild ride. There's the contracts that are expiring. We don't know who's coming in, who's going out. But all I know is it's a very exciting time to be a wrestling fan right now. I'd say the past 2 years have been absolutely insane, just between the two big American brands itself, and that's not counting Impact, which is turning back into TNA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling just had the Wrestle Kingdom event that went really well. So wrestling is booming again. So with that, who knows the type of matches we might get in 2024, and who knows the type of cross promotion we might be getting in 2024. But I guess we're going to see here in this video. So if you can, go ahead, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you can stay. If you guys want to watch more wrestling content, let's go ahead, jump right into this video.
There are a ton of WWE Dream matches that will never happen. Dream matches such
Yeah,
as Bret Hart versus
Bryan Danielson.
Danielson
That
and
would have
Shawn
been
Michaels
a
versus
banger.
AJ Styles are unable to happen due to one of the wrestlers in the Dream being officially retired, and if that retirement is due to medical reasons, then the chances of them ever taking a bump again are next to impossible. However, after Stone Cold Steve Austin's surprise return to the ring in 2022, it's been shown that wrestlers we thought would never wrestle again potentially could, albeit in
surprisingly, that was a really good match.
Therefore, there are several dream matches that could still happen in WWE.
Well, as we know, that match is most likely going to be happening, The Rock and Roman Reigns, though I don't think it's going to be happening on the stage that a lot of people think it's going to happen, which is WrestleMania. I am all on board with the whole deal that it might take place in Elimination Chamber, even though there are some negatives to that. The positives are the fact that it keeps Cody's story open to finishing the story, and it also it's 70,000 people, and Perth paid rumoredly paid a bunch of money to get The Rock on the show. So those are some positive for the company. The negative point is it's going to start at 5:30 p.m. in Perth, so which means it's going to start at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time in the States and 3:30 a.m. on the West Coast. So that's going to be rough. I'm not sure if they want to have that big match like that start so early for, I guess, the primary location of the fan base. I'm not saying that, biggest fan base or whatever, but I'm saying it's, they're located, they do a lot of their work inside the United States. So you would think that that is the audience that they would try to be, appeasing at that case. But then again, man, look at all the stuff they've held on the Saudi shows, match-wise and all that. They've had some dream matches on the Saudi shows, so I wouldn't put it past them to do it at Elimination Chamber.
And all it would take would be for both sides to agree to it, and for WWE to implement the appropriate creative direction to bring the match alive. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 major WWE Dream matches that can still actually happen.
Alright, let's see what they have in store. Of course, the thumbnail CM Punk and Stone Cold, so that could be a thing.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling
That's
videos,
if
and follow us on Facebook
Stone Cold wants to do it.
Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts.
WrestleMania Shorts.
CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Unfortunately, CM Punk's AEW run didn't live up to what Punk, AEW, nor the fans wanted. Following Punk's release from AEW, there have been rumors that he could potentially be looking towards a WWE return.
Have we never gotten the CM Punk and Roman singles match?
On the worst terms imaginable, so WWE allowing Punk back into the WWE family does seem like a stretch, but stranger things have happened. Punk was even backstage before a Raw show in 2023, and it was said that he made amends with names such as The Miz, which is a positive.
Because I know CM Punk and Roman had
there are so many mega dream matches that fans would love to see Punk in.
A handicap 1v3
showdown with the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Punk versus the Tribal Chief Prince Money, and would be creating a fascinating dynamic if WWE decides to utilize Paul Heyman in the middle, as even though he is the current advocate for Reigns, he had a long and decorated history with the straight-edge superstar.
That's something I never really thought about, and it is just sitting right there, the story between Punk and Heyman that you could use, with the Punk and Roman deal. I never, for some reason, that never crossed my mind, and it's so obvious. It's sitting right there.
Number 9, Rhea Ripley versus Beth Phoenix. Even though WWE Hall
That,
of Famer
that
Beth
would be
Phoenix
okay.
has been retired for a number of years, she's been prone to making sporadic appearances on WWE TV. These appearances have included matches, and almost all of these have received rave reviews, as Phoenix has shown the world that she has the ability to hang with the current roster.
Absolutely. She's been fantastic. Beth Phoenix has been great every time that she's stepped back into the ring, right? But then again, would it be believable for Beth Phoenix to beat Rhea and take the belt off of her? I mean, at this point, I wouldn't think so. But then again, WWE's done crazier things. But with Triple H at the helm, I know he likes his long reigns, storytelling, all that stuff. So I don't really see him putting a title on Beth Phoenix. But, I mean, who knows?
One of the matches that fans have been clamoring for is a Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley singles match.
I would like to see it.
In a mixed person tag match, but a full-blown single match is what fans have been pushing for. There seems to be no reason why it can't be done.
If a title wasn't on the line, that'd be cool.
Stratus' latest run, WWE should open the door to more iconic female wrestlers to work a program with the current roster. Number 8, Rey Mysterio versus Ricochet. Imagine two of the greatest high
Wait, has that never happened?
In a singles match. Rey Mysterio versus Ricochet
is
a WrestleMania match waiting to happen, and the action we've seen from the two in the multi-man matches have been rather special. The two have never wrestled in a 1v1 match in WWE, and the likely reason for that is that both are cemented as top babyfaces, so WWE may want to avoid booking the match in case one of them gets booed. However, a heel
but they've wrestled, they've had 1v1, I get it, in WWE.
Respect feud with both of them as babyfaces. Whatever WWE's approach to the dream match would be, it needs to happen before Mysterio hangs up his boots forever.
That match would be a banger.
Bucks versus the Usos. Several years ago, it seemed
like
an impossibility that AEW executives would leave AEW behind in favor of joining WWE. However, after Cody Rhodes made the jump in 2022, it seems like
what an awesome entrance, though.
The Young Bucks versus the Usos has been a dream match for the past decade, and both teams have expressed interest in a match before, with the Bucks even stated that they wanted to break the record for the most super kicks in a matchup. Obviously, the match can only happen if both teams are under the same company, and judging by the state of the wrestling industry currently, it seems more likely that the Young Bucks would find themselves in WWE as opposed to Jimmy and Jey Uso becoming all elite.
I mean, that's a fair assessment. That it's more likely that the Young Bucks would jump ship before the Usos jump ship. I mean, the Usos are in one of the best stories of their lifetime. They're most likely going to have a singles match at WrestleMania, right? Jimmy versus Jay. I'm sure that's going to be fun. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a great match, but it should be a fun match. And the storytelling in it, Jay's a phenomenal actor, and Jimmy is, I don't want to say really on par, but he's not a bad actor by any means. He's good. I think Jay takes it up another notch, though. But yeah, the Usos versus the Usos versus the Young Bucks. I mean, it's a match that people's been wanting to see for several years now. I just don't know if right now is the best time to do it with the stories that, the Usos and the Bloodline are having, man. I don't know if I would want the Young Bucks to come in there and just automatically want to pick up a match with the Usos.
Number 6, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
That's happening.
The dream opponents for CM Punk if he rejoins WWE has to be Seth Rollins.
This match is going to slap so hard.
Personal real-life animosity between the two, and this is what Rollins had to say regarding Punk in an interview with Wrestling Inc. Oh, Philly Phil, stay away. Stay away, you cancer.
Oh, Philly Phil.
Get away from me forever. Yeah, I don't like Phil. He's a jerk. Did we just figure that out? Everyone in the locker room is like, oh no, did he say that? Yeah, he's no jerk. We figured that out over there. We knew it over here. I don't want him back. Go do something else. Bye-bye. See you later.
So do you guys think that behind the scenes, WWE kind of like knew that they had their opportunity to get CM Punk? So they were kind of having some of these wrestlers, like, and specifically, and in particular, Seth Rollins, just going out and just kind of like, yeah, like if any questions come up about him, you know, say things like this, or at least give him the okay to say things like that, so that way, if a result happened where CM Punk did come back, which, you know, ultimately he did, they would have something to go off of. It seems like that might have been the case.
But would WWE be able to trust both Punk and Rollins to remain professional at all times? For Rollins, it shouldn't be a problem, but for Punk, we've seen during his AEW run that he's encountered problems with numerous talents, so he would be able to put any bad blood in the side of favor of creating pro wrestling magic. Number 5, the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys, the final encounter. One of the most
I just don't think
Edge and Christian
this is gonna happen.
Boys all engaging classic after classic. It'd be unlikely, but perhaps seeing all 6 men compete together in one final match would be a certified dream match for fans who grew up in the Attitude Era.
I don't. And I think if anyone who has seen recently just the Hardy Boys in general and how they struggle to really get around, Jeff Hardy seems to be, you know, he's not as balanced and agile as he used to be. His Swanton Bomb looks very heavy now. It looks like, you know, there's not a lot of flip on that thing anymore. Matt Hardy looks like he hurts just walking around. And that's not saying anything about, like, that's not disliking the Hardys. I still really love them, right? Jeff Hardy's been one of my favorites since I remember watching the Attitude Era. But, you know, and what have we really seen from Devon here recently? Devon, I know, had like some health complications and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't think we'll see like this triple threat tag team match. Though I will say, I think that we could very well see Hardys versus ENC. I just don't think the Dudleys are going to be involved. And if they are involved, I don't think it's going to be in a wrestling capacity.
This would more than likely happen in AEW, as the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, are both under AEW contracts. And as for the Dastardly Dudleys, they appear to be free agents, whilst occasionally wrestling for Impact Wrestling. It wouldn't need to be a TLC match, as just a
When's
standard
the last
triangle
time that they
match
both
bring in the
wrestled
nostalgia
for Impact?
and give one of the most epic feuds of all time one final moment in the spotlight. Number 4, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. When Cody Rhodes returned to WWE in 2022, one of the first feuds that fans wanted to see was a rivalry with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Rhodes and Orton's history speaks for itself, as the two are members of the Legacy faction.
I'm actually kind of pumped to see that.
Rhodes was a completely different wrestler during their initial rivalry. There's so much to the story for WWE to develop with a feud and subsequent
God, he looks like such a superstar.
Some fans quite rightly label the matchup
so does he.
Showdown. It looks like Orton will indeed be returning to WWE once his back is fully healed, so hopefully the feud and match that fans have been waiting years to see finally comes to fruition. Number 3, Gunther versus
Oh
Brock
my
Lesnar.
God, give it to me.
On the main roster,
give me Gunther and Brock, like Big E said. Meaty men slapping meat. Big meaty men slapping meat. I need it.
Due to their rather physical in-ring styles, fans believed that the two facing off would be an absolute war. And when fans realized that Gunther was going to be pushed to the moon on the main roster,
oh my God, his chops are nutty.
Interest in the match, and this is a rarity for Lesnar, who's extremely private when it comes to his thoughts on pro wrestling. It's clear that Lesnar is a fan of what Gunther is bringing to the table.
Heck yeah.
The two had a memorable showdown at the 2023 Rumble match, and their face-off received one of the biggest ovations of the entire event.
Guys, I popped so hard at that. Like, when they faced off, I was up out of my seat, standing up, going, oh my God, like the whole time. Like, this match, if it happens, God, at least I'd be willing to pay money to actually go see like this match live, like alone. This match could slap so hard.
And many believe this to be WWE testing the waters to see how fans would react to a Gunther versus Lesnar program.
God, they probably have great chemistry together.
Rather than if,
and Brock would probably sell his ass off for Gunther.
It's likely that a major event such as WrestleMania or SummerSlam will host the anticipated matchup. Number 2, Roman Reigns versus The Rock.
SummerSlam would be
Heading
good.
into WrestleMania 39 season, it seemed like a certainty that WWE were going to book a dream match between Reigns and The Rock. It was heavily reported that WWE were trying to lock down The Rock for a match, but ultimately they were unable to secure the great one, and WWE went with Plan B for the biggest show of the annual calendar. The Rock revealed that he's open to the idea of wrestling Reigns at WrestleMania 40, and it's likely now or never when it comes to that match, as The Rock is increasing in age and he's only free for a select number of dates a year due to his acting commitments.
Alright, I'm going to be completely honest here. I know this probably isn't going to go over very well, but I'm not as excited to see a Rock versus Roman. And I get it from a storyline perspective. It makes sense. Head of the table, The Rock comes back, says, he's the real head of the table, Roman hasn't beaten him yet, like blah, blah, blah. They could do the whole thing, set up the storyline where The Rock, tried to crown him at one point and, he just didn't take the ball and run with it. He fumbled the ball, whatever the case may be. They could run with that, right? And I get that. But I am just more interested in Cody and Roman. That stare down when Cody made his way out, when he was walking on a ramp and Roman was coming up the ramp. I think it was on SmackDown. And they came face to face and they showed that face to face. The crowd went nuts. That's something that needs to be done, right? And it's a WrestleMania story. I mean, let's be real. It's a WrestleMania story. The Rock looks like he popped in, and it could be like, I understand The Rock shouldn't really be on, side shows. So I guess BPLEs at this point. He's too big of a draw for that. But at the same time, when it comes down to story factor, I just don't think that story is as big. He seems like a side character coming in, like it's like a side quest compared to. And just think about Roman, if he beats The Rock prior to WrestleMania. Let's say it's The Rock and Roman at Elimination Chamber. And Roman beats The Rock and officially crowns himself, there's no other, someone like Dynasty member I need to beat. I've beaten them all. And, I am clearly the head of the table, like I've said all along, blah, blah, blah. And Cody beats him at WrestleMania. Think about how much bigger that win for Cody's gonna feel, right? I think it has to be at like Elimination Chamber or something. There's no they better not put this on Mania. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that.
WWE,
They better not put that on Mania.
Box office, and it'd be a total shocker if the match isn't one of the most financially successful matches in company history. And number 1, CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It came as a total surprise in 2022 when Austin came out of retirement. Austin had retired back in 2003 due to neck issues, and the chances of him wrestling again were slim, but miraculously, Austin was able to compete once more almost 2 decades later. Austin returned to the ring in an acclaimed main event matchup.
He moved well. He did really well in that match.
Austin was willing to wrestle at WrestleMania 39, but nothing materialized.
And Owens was the perfect opponent because he's a brawler.
Was a match with CM Punk. Both characters are similar in the sense that they're anti-authoritative in nature, and it seems common sense to pair the two in a featured match. Hopes for the dream match escalated back in 2012 when the two took part in a sit-down interview with Jim Ross to promote a WWE 2K video game. The segment was intense and arguably more compelling than anything done to WWE product at the time. If WWE secure a deal to bring Punk back and Austin will be willing to have another match, Punk vs Austin seems like a no-brainer, and it could create lasting memories that fans will never forget. But there you have it, folks. 10 major dream matches that could still happen in WWE.
Man, there's a lot to look forward to. 2024 is going to be a crazy year for wrestling. Like I said, there's no better time right now than being a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? The dream matches are, at this point, kind of endless. Because like I said, with the contracts expiring, you never know who's going to be coming in, who's going to be going out, who's going to be partnering up and working together. The possibilities are kind of endless at this point. So let me know what your dream match that you want to see in 2024 is down in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe for more wrestling content. While you're at it, go ahead and hit that notification bell, turn it on so that way you can stay up to date with every single video the second that I drop it. Alright, X family, I will catch you all in the next reaction. Later.